Yeah, Guy?
Lance, I just talked to the Stomper's representative. He said the Stomper will not wrestle Jerry Lawler under any circumstances, any time. You'll have to get some kind of unless it's a championship match, the belt's at stake. He will not wrestle Lawler, so you'll have to probably make some kind of arrangement for Monday night for another match.
Boy, I tell you, this has not been a good day.
No,
right off the reel, I'll tell you, it has not been a good day. I wish we could get some kind of an order enough to know exactly what's going on. If we can get Eddie out here to find out what in the Sam Hill. Lawler, of course, after the situation with the Stomper that we ran the tape on, you better believe he wants him back in the ring in the world's worst way. And now he's saying, yeah, Tom Renesto. The situation, Tom, we just got the word.
Yeah, I know full well what the situation is, Lance, and of course it upsets me a great deal. You know, I thought I knew wrestlers, but obviously I don't know them that well. I've been in negotiations all week long with the aides of the Stomper and Mr. Jerry Lawler, the king, as he is so well known. And I've never had so much trouble and so much bickering in all of my life to get two men to sign a contract. Now, the aides for the Stomper have specifically stated that they will not wrestle Jerry Lawler unless he puts up the title. Now, Lawler, in turn, comes back and says he will not put up the title. All he wants to do is wrestle the man known as the Stomper. Now, as I said, it's been very, very difficult, and that's what makes this job particularly hard when you have two men, neither will give an inch. Of course, the Stomper doesn't talk. He has his aides, and they have a very profound position, and they refuse to change that position. Now, all this could be avoided, and it's my personal opinion. I'm going out on a limb by saying this. All this could be avoided if Jerry Lawler would give the man a championship match. Now, you know, and I know, my job is particularly difficult enough as it is. My job is to draw money for the company. My job is to put matches together. I think that you will agree with me that a championship match has far more meaning, has a lot more interest to the fans, and after all, we're here to please the fans, than a non-championship match, right or wrong?
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, in time, certainly the championship match does have more.
Not in time. I think this particular instance, and since Jerry Lawler is the champion, I feel, now this is my personal opinion, and of course I am doing my job to the best of my ability, my opinion is that he should defend his title against this man. Now, if he doesn't want to defend the title, there's obviously a reason for it. If he's afraid and doesn't want to meet the man, then I think he should admit it, and we won't have the championship match.
I think that's a little strong, Tom. Obviously, in your job, in booking matches, you're interested in the championship match, and I don't blame you because I'd like to see one too. But to indicate that Lawler's afraid, the guy's history is too much.
Well, yes, sir, he has a great history here.
He certainly does.
But the one thing that he has a history of doing, of course, is intimidating people. He's obviously intimidated you to the point so where you're going to agree with him. No one's going to disagree with him. I'm going to call it like I see it.
You've had a bad week, Tom. That way, there's no point in arguing about it.
The idea of being a bad week, then I'm going to call it as I see it. And as I said, this gentleman here, whom I respect a great deal, I don't think there's any other wrestler in the world can defeat this man. But I think that he should take the prerogative and go ahead, put up the championship, give the people. After all, this title is the people's title, as he has said many times. He is the king, so as a result, I think he should defend his title with honor and dignity.
Well, I don't have to talk for him. He can talk for himself.
Yeah, that's true. If you don't mind, I would like to get a word in here in defense of myself. It's true what Tom says. I understand that, you know, I realize the job that you have to do. Your job is to try to make the most exciting matches that you can do, and understandably, probably a Southern title match would mean more than just a non-title match. But I don't appreciate the fact, Tom, of you standing out here and saying that I'm afraid to put up the title, that I'm afraid of the man. I came to you and asked for the match. You know that's a fact. I came to you and I came to Eddie Marlin. I'm the one that asked for this match to begin with. So that obviously shows that I'm not afraid of the man. Now, what I would like for you to do, Tom, is, you know, you talk about you have respect for me. It's certainly not showing because you're not telling the whole story. Now, you're not telling the people why I don't want to put up the title. But if you don't want to tell them, I'll be more than glad to tell them, because everybody knows here in Memphis and everywhere how hard and how long I've worked to try to get a World Heavyweight Championship match. And everybody also knows that the man who holds the Southern title is first in line for this title shot.
Right.
Well, now that I've got the Southern title, I've been able to negotiate a world title match with the NWA champion Ric Flair, and it's coming up very soon. And I don't want to take a chance. It's true. I don't want to go in the ring with a jerk like the Stomper who pulled a stunt like he did last week and risk that title and risk my shot, which could possibly be the only shot, at the World Heavyweight Championship. So why don't you tell the people that, Tom? Now, you ask all of these people out here and see if they think that I should risk the title shot and a shot at Ric Flair against a jerk like the Stomper. I don't think so either.
Let me say in deference to what you're saying, it is obvious, as I said earlier, it is obvious by all the fans that are here, as I said, and this is what makes the job tough. You've admitted to the fact that a championship match would be of far more interest, of greater interest. I'm interested in selling tickets to the general public. Now, you're saying that I should come out and tell these people. It is obvious that you have all the fans intimidated, as well as this gentleman and everyone else. You have them intimidated. They're going to go your way.
I'm not trying to intimidate anybody.
Now, wait, let me finish. Let me just have my opinion, if you will. I feel that there has to be a reason, and I think it's a very weak reason that you're putting out to say that you don't want to risk the chance of losing the championship, because then you won't get a chance at Ric Flair. Listen, wait a minute. Because if you have to have confidence, first of all, Jerry, and, you know, I've argued with you and I've respected you, and we've been through more arguments, and I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah,
I've had all of this thing, but I think that you should have confidence in yourself and represent your people as a man with dignity and respect and wrestle a man and put up your title.
Hey, he didn't say he wouldn't put the title. He just said the timing's wrong, Tom. I think, you know.
What timing? A match is a wrestling match.
Yeah.
You don't lose revenue that you lose. When you lose revenue, you lose
Hey,
it.
listen, we're standing out here. I mean, isn't this something really? I know the folks are having a big kick out of the argument, but it
Well,
seems
no,
to me...
I don't think they're having a big kick out of it. This is something that's going on all week long, Lance. He's as bullheaded as these jerks that represent the Stomper. And I'm sorry, Tom. I understand that your job is to have the most exciting matches as you can. But I'm telling you this. If you want somebody to have a title match with a Stomper, you go get somebody else. As far as I'm concerned, you can get somebody else to wrestle him anyway. I don't have to wrestle. I don't have to wrestle him. I don't have to wrestle for you. I don't have to wrestle anybody. I got a world title match coming up, and that's the most important thing on my mind right now. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry. But I can understand it. I think the fans
Well,
can
you're telling me then that you're not going to wrestle a man for the championship. I think you're totally wrong.
Please, Eddie.
It's really not smart business to stand out here and try to run Jerry Lawler.
I agree with
We
you.
don't want Jerry Lawler to leave, and we don't want the Stomper to leave.
Well, now you're being intimidated.
No, I'm not being intimidated. It's just your business, man.
Everybody stands here. Look, I told you before, I respect you. I respect you as a great champion. I respect you as a man, as an individual. But I do not understand why everyone will not have a difference of opinion with you. I'm trying to do my job, and there's something else. I want, wait a minute, let me finish. Will you let me finish? I'm not trying to run him off. He is going by choice. And I want to inform you on something. I don't work for you. I work for myself. I am my own boss. It's my job to put these matches together. And from this point forward, don't you or anyone else or you or anyone else try to tell me my job. I'm going to do my job the way I want it.
You do your job right, and nobody will tell you. You're not doing it right when you want to run this man off.
I'm not trying to run him off. He did by choice. He just said by choice, if you expect me to wrestle for the championship, I'm not going to do it. And you know what that tells? You don't blame him. Look, Eddie, let me say one thing. Wait a minute. Let me say one thing. Through the past months, I have respected you immensely. But to see you get on his coattails to try to become popular, I think this is wrong. I have a right to my opinion, and I think he, as a champion, should be able to represent the wrestling profession with dignity and respect, and that's not what he's doing.
He's doing it. You don't need to voice your opinion out here. This is a matter of something that he worked for all his life.
I'm sitting here with three people.
Yeah, but
You're
you got
saying
it on the
thank you.
brain about
No, wait a minute. I don't have it on the brain. I've given in to him repeatedly.
What have you ever given in to me on anything about?
Come on, Eddie. I mean, look, you know, we're standing out there arguing about...
You're trying to tell me that you don't work for him? He runs the company.
He didn't hire me. Now let's get down to brass.
He runs
Jerry Jarrett hired me. Now since we're going to throw it all out in the open, Let's go back and get the man that's in charge. Let's get the man that owns the company and get. You're not in charge as far as I'm concerned. If you want to expose it, let's get the man out here. Get him out here.
I just wish one thing we got.
Evidently something personal.
Listen,
We got a television show to do, Tom. You're
I have
standing
a
on-
job to do.
Well, I understand that.
I have a job to do. I'm calling it as I see it. Jerry Lawler is obviously afraid of the Stomper. Now, why, if he's not afraid of him, why, and he says he can
You've
beat him,
got a Stomper-Lawler match that's coming up, and you're going to have
what
an
kind of money will that draw? It's not going to draw half as much as the other. Let's be sensible, Lance. I'm not here to argue.
Tom, he has worked hard all his life for this, and one thing could happen.
Boy, Jerry, I hope we can get this. We've got a television show to complete here, please. So,
Jerry, let me ask you one thing. Let me just say one thing. They're coming out telling me that I'm totally wrong. I have a free hand to do as I see fit, and since all these people have gathered together, they're being intimidated, I'm going to publicly say I think that you were afraid of the Stomper to put up your title.
I'm not afraid of nobody, Tom. How you figure I'm afraid? I want to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And that has nothing to do with the Stomper. I asked for the match with the Stomper.
and he wanted that a long time before you came here. too.
Please. Listen, first of all, I have absolutely no authority. You know that. Eddie, you most of all know that. I'm embarrassed, and I apologize to the people here for what has taken place today. If I had the authority today, I would make some immediate changes in this company. Unfortunately, I don't. And Eddie, you are responsible for the company. In May, I signed the authority and made you general manager of this company. Now, you hired Tom Renesto, and I'll admit, I submitted his name to you as a recommendation. But you're in charge of the company, and this fiasco that's taking place out here in front of the public is your responsibility. If I was in charge, I would make some changes this instant. You have either got to let this man do his job as he sees fit, or you've got to do it yourself. Now, this is crazy, Eddie.
Well, he's got to do his job right. Wait a minute. He said I was in charge. I'm in charge. Go to a break, and we'll settle this in the back.
Is Jerry
Get
there
back
telling
in the
me
back
that
and
you're
let
my
that
boss?
man.
Never.
Well, you heard it right there. We're going to take a break and get out of this thing.
My understanding of this match is that it is a tag team match, so I don't know. Here's Eddie Marlin.
Minute, must be some misunderstanding. Buddy Wayne has left. Billy Travis will get his 5-minute match with Buddy Wayne next week right here on TV.
Okay, no question, he left.
That's right, he's gone. Yeah, the other problem, it's been corrected. Jerry Lawler will wrestle the Stomper. It'll be a non-title match. Come on,
Okay, at least we got that. All right, we got a match coming up here.
This gentleman has just got through saying that everything has been corrected. I'll tell you how it's been corrected. He just tried to fire me. He can't fire me. I'm going to quit. And let me tell you why I'm quitting. Everyone here, including yourself, Lawler got his way. Lawler got me fired. Lawler's going to go in with a non-championship match. Each and every one of you, the fans, all of you here, were all on Lawler's side. Even though this gentleman is sitting quietly, I know he's on Lawler's side. I know that your job depends upon that you do what Lawler tells you. Mine doesn't. I quit. This man's job and his welfare depends upon what Jerry Lawler's going to do. Everyone's afraid of Jerry Lawler. I'm not afraid of him, and I want to tell you something right here and right now. As I said, and not to sound repetitious, I can't be fired because I've just quit. I thought it was great to hold you gentlemen in esteem, but I see that you're all paper puppets, each and every one of you, and all you want to do is sit up and okay Jerry Lawler. Let me just say this last thing to you, Lance Russell, before I leave. I've been doing some negotiating myself. I've got a new job as a booking agent. From this point forward, listen to me well, I'm going to book the Stomper, and I'm going to be his representative from this point forward. You can keep your job, and as that old song that hillbilly sings, you can take your job and shove it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it works both ways. I used to have a little respect for you, but after that kind of a move with a Stomper, you can... well, I tell you what we can do. We can sit here and argue all day long. I'd like to see a little wrestling myself.
Yeah, I would
see if we
too.
can get somebody out here.